get a job in it. So before moving on, please tell me if I'm audible, and you guys can put it down in the question section in the webinar. As you guys know, this particular webinar will basically be on YouTube as well. And people who are in the webinar currently, who are attending the session in the webinar, you guys can put down the questions in the question section of the webinar itself, and please put down if I'm audible or not. Also, in YouTube, I'll be looking at the questions once I complete my part, because I'll have to first finish up the webinar, and then I'll look at the questions on YouTube and then answer your questions. So please stay tuned. Same thing with the webinar. You guys can put down your questions, and once I complete my part, I will be answering the questions. So now, okay, so I got some confirmation from YouTube also that I'm audible from the YouTube chat. So okay, I'm just going to continue right now. Yeah, so again, one more thing is that this will be a two-part session. Okay, thank you, Jashwant. This would be a two-part session. One part which I'll be taking for the next 25 minutes, and after that, a senior course advisor would join, and they would talk more about the training, the certification, and how you can transition your career from, let's say you are from a different role, or if you're from a non-tech role, if you're from a different IT role itself, and how to get into AWS or how to get into DevOps. These kinds of things will be answered by then. If you have any technical questions, please ask me. I would be the right person for it. So now I'm just going to go ahead, and this would be the agenda. So I'm just going to introduce you guys to why AWS, why should you choose AWS, why not. Like, there are cloud providers, but in this case, as it is AWS, I'm going to talk more about AWS and make you understand why exactly should you choose AWS. And then there is the steps to learn AWS. Again, this is completely subjective, and in this case, it is basically how I learned it. So that's what I'm going to show you. And certification paths, what are the different certifications you can take up, and the adjacent job roles which you can go for. So these are the things which will be covered in this session. All right. No audio from Emmanuel. So guys, I hope I'm audible to everyone, because I just checked my audio again. My microphone is working well, I guess. Emmanuel, please check your please check your speakers. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay, anyway, I just checked my audio and it's working fine. Okay, so now why AWS? So let's start with it. And okay, first of all, AWS powers businesses in 190 plus countries. So why I want to say this is because if you're from any country, it doesn't matter. AWS will be having a business will be running AWS over there. So a business would be using AWS for their cloud needs over there. And okay, so yeah, so basically, let's say you're from India, and obviously, if you learn AWS, there are so many companies who use AWS, and you can basically join those companies as an AWS developer or an AWS architect or an AWS administrator. So like that, there are 190 plus countries. They have businesses in 190 plus countries, and if you're from any of those countries, you can go ahead with AWS, no problem. So you can go ahead with AWS wherever you are, because right now remote jobs are really popular. You can get a job in another country directly from your country if you have the right skills. Then AWS has more than 1 million active users. So this basically means I wanted to include, because AWS is very popular, including the companies and individual users. There are 1 million active users just for AWS. So AWS is not a social media platform, it's a cloud tool. And for a cloud tool, 1 million users is a very big number. And obviously it keeps increasing every single day. And AWS provides 170 plus cloud services. So why I'm mentioning this is because you don't have to learn all 170 services. You will just have to learn the number of services which will be required for your particular niche. So let's say you are into big data, you'll just have to learn the services which will help you as a big data developer. If you're a developer and want to become a cloud developer, in that case, you'll only have to learn the services which will help you become a cloud developer and help you deploy your applications on the cloud. So to put it simple, to put it simply, let's say you're a big data engineer and you want to become a big data developer who develops solutions on cloud. Okay, in that case, you will have to learn few services, like there is EMR, which is Elastic MapReduce, there is Redshift, there is S3. So you will have to learn few services which will help you as a big data developer. And so that's what I'm mentioning is you will only have to learn around 15 to 20 services, which is relevant for you, and that is more than enough to get a job in a major company. So this is one reason. Let me just brush through this why part. And one more reason is that Amazon dominates, Amazon Web Services, that is AWS, dominates the public cloud market. They, in 2019, in quarter 3, they had 39% of the public cloud market share. But right now, due to a really competitive cloud market, Amazon Web Services owns 31% of the public cloud market share, and Microsoft Azure owns 16%. Google Cloud owns around 7%, and next comes Alibaba Cloud, IBM Cloud, Salesforce, and other cloud services. Right, but still AWS is the number one, and yeah, so most companies use AWS. And then simply, I've just looked up on multiple job portals like Simply Hired, Indeed, LinkedIn, LinkUp. So many job portals, and I just searched for the solutions architect domain under AWS and cloud computing. So basically, just for that particular domain, there were 7,500 jobs available. So this is just in the Indian region. So there are so many more jobs available. Okay, just for the Indian region, these many jobs are available. If you have the right skills, you can get into AWS. Um, all right. Coming to the next slide. So why AWS? One more reason is made if you want to get into an MNC, or if you want to get into a company which you like, let's say Reddit or Netflix or Pinterest, Salesforce, Twitch. So all of these companies use AWS extensively for their cloud needs. And if you want to get into any of these companies, learning AWS would be a great addition, because you can become an AWS engineer in one of these companies if that is your goal. If your goal is to work in one of these companies, then go for it. Then go for AWS, because these major companies use AWS, and if you know AWS and if you learn the relevant skills, you can get into them. And one last thing is the average salary, because whatever role you're getting into, obviously you want to look at the salary, what would you earn. All right, so in that case, I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is the average salary, not the highest, not the lowest. So from Glassdoor, the average salary in US it's $122,000 per annum, and in India it's 7.3 lakhs per annum. But the highest salary which I looked upon in Glassdoor itself was 25 LPA. So basically that was the highest salary which was posted on Glassdoor. And on Glassdoor, it's not like they provide a random value. They just collect, they just take data from what is that? Yeah, from basically you. Let's say you are logging into Glassdoor and you are a cloud engineer, you can put in the salary and they will club together all the salaries and give an average value. So the sample size is pretty small. So these values won't be always accurate, because it totally depends on the skill you have and totally depends on the uh, what is the experience you have. All right, if you are a beginner and if you have limited skills, then your salary will be obviously less. But if you have gained skills, let's say you are into the profession 1 to 1.5 years, then you can easily shift and get a very high salary. Steps to learn, as I told you, this is going to be pretty subjective. But one thing I would suggest before getting into any cloud tool, learn the cloud basics and the networking fundamentals. So cloud basics in the sense, what are deployment services, what are understanding service models, understanding deployment models, understanding how exactly cloud works, how the pricing works. So the very basic things about cloud. And the networking fundamentals, again, what is an IP address, what is a public IP, what is a private IP, how is an IP address formed, what is the subnet mask, what is HTTP, what is HTTPS. So learn about the very basic protocols and the very basic. Learning what is an IP and how it is formed is obviously really basic, and learning this, and once you get into AWS, it'll be really helpful, because when you get into AWS, the first thing you'll do is create a server. And when you create a server, and that instance will have a public IP address, it'll have a private IP address, it'll have a DNS name, It'll have a security group which will have certain protocols attached to it, like SSH, HTTP. So in that case, you shouldn't have a doubt of what it is. You can do that. You can create a server and then learn them one by one. But having a basic understanding of these things before getting into AWS would be really beneficial for you. And then finally, using the exam guide and white papers. Okay. So this exam guide and white papers is basically white papers are provided by AWS, and they are completely theoretical, and they teach you every single concept of that particular topic. So let's say security in AWS, and they teach everything about security in AWS in that one single white paper. Best practices, again, they teach every single best practices about it in the white paper. All right. Okay, certification paths. So what are the different certifications? You can go ahead, and as you guys are here in this particular session on how to learn AWS and get an AWS job, I'm going to assume all of you are beginners who are trying to get into AWS. So in that case, I would suggest three certifications for you. You can choose this or this or this. So you can go ahead for this, the Cloud Practitioner certification. This is the most fundamental certification in AWS, but it's not that this is a prerequisite for taking any other certification. You can directly take up the associate certification. All right. Okay, so now let me just give you a brief on who can take up what certification. Okay, so solutions architect. So if you are interested in creating cloud environments and cloud architectures, so let's say your company has an application, you should understand what the application needs. Let's say the application has, and you would the front end. So basically, it's running on Angular. The back end is using, let's say, PHP, and then they are using an NoSQL database, MongoDB. Then they're also using a relational database, MySQL. So now you would know the application's architecture, all right? So now this particular architecture should be emulated in the cloud. So you should be a person who is able to create an architecture on the cloud in which the application could be deployed. But as a solutions architect, you should know one high-level programming language, that is either Java or Python or C#, doesn't matter, but you should know one high-level programming language. So one more thing before you get confused. To take any of these certifications, you do not need to know any programming language. You do not have to know any previous networking or cloud or IT experience. You can take up these certifications without any of those. But when you're getting into a job, let's say you are applying for a solutions architect role, if you look at the job description, they would ask one high-level programming language. It could be Java, it could be Python, it could be C#, depending on the company. And then what else? Yeah, so they would ask for Linux, because Linux is really important, and whatever cloud, whatever cloud job you're going to get into, Linux is a must. Learning Linux is highly degraded, because 90% of cloud servers run on Linux. And yeah, so basically you should learn Linux, you should know one high-level programming language, and there are more things to it. If you will have to check up few job descriptions to understand even better. So people who are willing to learn one programming language, one high-level programming language, can go ahead with solutions architect. You don't have to completely develop software. You just know one high-level programming language. And then next comes sysops administrator job role. Sysops administrator certification. Any programming language, you don't have to know. So in this case, you don't have to know any type, because administrator, you would be maintaining the AWS architectures. Let's say your company already has an established architecture running on, so it's basically running on AWS, and there's an application already running. So as a sysops administrator, your main job role would be to monitor the running servers, monitor the storage, monitor the complete architecture, and make sure that nothing goes down or nothing crashes. And even though there's a problem, you should be the person who will troubleshoot it. All right. Yeah, so sysops administrator doesn't have to know any programming language. Voice is breaking. Okay, I'll just try to speak a little louder. Yeah, I checked the internet. I don't think I have an internet problem. Let's see. I'll just continue. I hope voice doesn't break anymore. Okay, so these are the two certifications. And then there comes a third one, which is AWS Developer. And AWS Developer is a certification in which, again, you can take up without any programming knowledge. You can take up without any previous scripting or any IT knowledge. But when you're applying for an AWS developer or a cloud developer job role, they would ask you to know software development. That is, you should be skilled in one type of software development. It could be web development, it could be Android mobile development, it could be .NET development. It doesn't matter, but you should be skilled in one particular niche in development, which will obviously help you become an AWS developer. But again, to take up any of these certifications, it's not required for you to know a programming language, but to take up once you finish them up, it's better for a solutions architect to learn a programming language, for a developer to learn software development, but for a sysops administrator, you you should have certain Linux administration skills or Windows administration skills according to the company you're getting into. But apart from that, you don't need any other extra skill. You just need the administration skill. And also, you should be a really good, you should know Linux really well. Okay, so these three are the top certifications I would suggest. So I'm just going to check if there are any questions related to this. Your voice is not breaking. Okay, your voice is cracking sometimes. So there are multiple interpretations. I don't know if it's my problem or the internet problem or the problem for you guys, because few people are saying it's not breaking and few it's breaking. So I'm not sure, but I'm making sure my internet connection is uh, at its highest speed all the time and it's connected. I'm just going to go ahead because I'm pretty sure that the internet is working well, but I'm not sure what exactly is the audio problem. Let me just try to speak even louder if that might solve. Okay, so these three associate certifications are the one. Now coming to the job roles, so one more thing about the associate certifications, you can take up the associate certifications right now at home itself, because right now due to the pandemic and they didn't want to cut off the examinations, because before it used to be just in testing centers, but right now it is basically you can take up from your home. You can apply for the examination, you can directly take it from your home. So this would be the right time for you guys if you want to take up any one of the AWS associate certifications or any AWS certifications actually. So the examination time would be 130 minutes. The cost for the examination would be 150 USD, and the practice exam is 20 USD. That is, if you want to practice before taking up the actual exam, it will cost you 20 USD. All right. Uh, okay. So so yeah, it's multiple choice, multiple answer. Nothing else. You don't have to write anything. It's just selection. All right. So let me just check if there are any questions right now. Okay, there's a question from Kumar Robin. What level of Linux knowledge is required for AWS learning? So basically, you should know the way around it, the very basic. To learn AWS, you don't have to be an expert in Linux. To learn AWS, for example, you should know how to check a list of files, basically an ls command, or how to check your current working directory, pwd, how to create a folder, how to delete a folder. So the very basic of Linux is required, because obviously, let's say you launch a server and you want to create a file inside that, you should know how to do that. You should basically how to say that, you should know how to launch an editor, like let's say Vim or Nano, and then you should know how to type inside it and how to save the file. So this very basic stuff is more than enough to start learning. But once you get into a company, obviously you should skill up yourself, you should learn more commands and become a little better in Linux. Yes, Kumar Ravan, basic admin commands are more than enough to start learning AWS. But as I told you, once you get into a job, obviously, then you should have to learn more. Yeah, so that is it. And I'll just check in YouTube if there are any questions. So there was a question, which cloud certification is suitable for me? I'm learning machine learning. So yeah, I would suggest solutions architect directly, because if you're confused and if you're in a beginning stage, then solutions architect would be the right choice. Um And then from Sandeep, so AWS, CCP versus SysOps versus developer. So CCP is it the cloud practitioner, SysOps versus developer, which is best in terms of workload and better pay. So workload, it completely depends on the company you're getting into, but better pay, it would surely be the AWS developer one, because you have two different major skill sets. That is, you have the software development skill set, and also you have the cloud developer, that is the cloud skill set. um, what else? Okay, if there is one, which certification is best for non-tech guys? As I told, if you're in if you're in a confused state, or if you're in a state where you don't know which certification to go up for, then I would suggest you to go for the solutions architect certification. Um, okay. Sundarji, how many years can we use that certification? So basically, you can use it to, let's say, the certification would be valid for around 2 to 3 years. But again, you can still keep using it. You can keep the badge in your LinkedIn, because not there won't be any major changes in the questionnaire. So there is no need to worry about it. It's not like there would be a really major change and you'll have to keep taking it up again and again. It's not required. Um, you just have to take it once. That's it. You don't have to take it up again. All right. Okay. So now I'm just going to finish up this part and I'm going to hand over the session. There are some more questions in the webinar, so I'm just going to answer them. From Purna, what level of Python experience do I need to have to learn AWS? So as I told again, you don't have to know Python at all to learn AWS. But once you start learning AWS, let's say you want to do some operations on AWS, or you want to create an application, and yeah, so basically once you get into AWS, you would obviously, let's say you're going with Python, then again, very basic level Python is more than enough. You don't have to be a complete expert in it, because you have Google, you have Stack Overflow to for it, you have GitHub to get the very basic code, and you don't have to be an expert in it. From BBL, what are the best ETL tools in migrate data to cloud? I'm not sure about this, but let's say if you want to migrate data to a database, so there is a service in AWS itself called the Database Migration Service, or what else is there? Yeah, so basically that's what I remember right now. I'm not very sure right now about the other tools. From Jashwant, I like please put a elaborate question. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish up this part. Yeah, so the various job roles, as I told you, solutions architect, cloud developer, and sysops admin, I already explained these three. And once you become an architect or a developer, then you can become a senior AWS cloud architect, which would obviously significantly pay you higher, because you would have worked in a cloud environment and you would have better understanding of how a company works from within. And cloud DevOps engineer, again, from a developer role or a sysops admin role, you can directly, the next job role for you would be a cloud DevOps engineer or a DevOps engineer role. And one more final role which I wanted to just introduce is the operational support engineer. So this can be a starting point if you think you are not ready to get into solutions architect or cloud developer, because as an operations support engineer, you would be supporting your uh, company's clients cloud environment. You would be troubleshooting and managing the other cloud environments. All right. Okay. So it's a very starting job role. So these jobs are available in many companies and also in Amazon itself. Okay, so these are the top job roles, guys, and these are the stuff. So now I'm just going to give you a brief about how to get started, and I'm going to hand over the session to my colleague. So now Intellipaat blog, so you can check out intellipaat.com/blog, where we have lots of free content and lots of free tutorials. You can start learning from there, or you can check out our YouTube channel. Most of you would be watching the session from our YouTube channel itself, and most of you are in the webinar. So if you're in the YouTube channel, you would, or you already know, we have YouTube channel and we provide a lot of free content, and you can learn directly from there. Okay, so now I'm going to hand over the session to a senior course advisor who will be explaining you more about the training, more about the certification, and more about the career related guidance. Okay, thank you so much, guys. So wait for a couple seconds and the session will start again.
Hi guys, this is Charles from Intellipaat. Am I audible? Perfect. So I hope today's webinar was useful and helpful. So I'm going to take you through the program details where you can access the complete information. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer. So here we are on the Intellipaat homepage. All I'm doing is typing in AWS, and let's straight away go into the program. So first thing is that this is in collaboration with Future Skills, which is a NASCOM initiative. So 36 hours of instructor-led training. So now let's see what is that you'll be getting trained in the 36 hours of duration. So here we are. Now these are all the list of modules that's going to be trained by the live instructor. And these are all the list of 10 modules that's going to take 36 hours of duration. Now let's click on module 1. What is cloud computing? So you'll be literally introduced to the topic from the very basic to advanced step by step. So if you notice, hands-on exercise. So each and every module has hands-on exercises. So this is purely a practical learning, not any sort of theoretical or boring lectures. So we do not teach you guys, we train you. All our instructors are working professionals with 15, 20 years of experience in IT who works for the top corporates who are currently using AWS at their current job. So you're directly getting trained by an industry expert. So every module has hands-on exercise. This is purely a practical learning. Now, these are the list of 4 modules which will be covered in the self-paced. Now, self-paced is a pre-recorded video along with downloadable PDF materials in it. Now, moving further, this is very, very important, AWS projects covered. Now, everybody knows that every company wants to hire a person who has experience. So do not mistake, they don't want an experience from a particular company. They're talking about a hands-on experience. Now, these are the real-time industry projects, which is going to give you enough hands-on experience for you to become proficient with the technology. In order to clear the interview, this is mandatory. So no matter where you learn, without having hands-on experiences on projects, it's useless or pointless. So we are going to provide you the necessary lab environment for you to learn, play, and practice. We also provide you lifetime technical support assistance whenever you are stuck or whenever you have any concerns. My team works round the clock who is going to help you, guide you, and assist you. Moving further, peer learning. So this is a platform for you to interact with your peers who are taking classes with you globally. So you have a community for yourself where you can interact with your peers and also learn from them. So AWS certification. Now the course itself is aligned or designed for you to clear this official exam called AWS Solutions Architect exam. So people who want to clear the official exam, you can go ahead. What we do is we prepare you for certification exam also. So we provide you a free mock quiz. Take our quiz, score 60%. That means you can actually clear the official examination in just one attempt. So we have more than 95% of passing aggregate. So we prepare you for the official certification exam as well. Now, this is a course completion certificate issued by Intellipaat, acknowledged by Future Skills. Now, let's talk about Intellipaat itself. Well, we are in business for 7 years. We have over 700,000 learners throughout the globe. Our reach is towards 55 different regions. And we're the only company to provide you a lifetime access. There is no expiration. You can attend as many classes, retake as many batches. Nobody's going to stop you or question you. Instructor is live. It is interactive. Any of your questions will definitely be answered before the end of the session. And all the classes are recorded and handed over to you for your reference. And this also includes lifetime free upgrade. So let's say tomorrow AWS Solutions Architect comes with additional couple of topics. You definitely will have to upgrade your skill set to those latest topics as well. So we provide you with a lifetime free upgrade. So whatever new version is in the market, you get to learn the latest version for free of cost. And this also includes job assistance. So job assistance works in 3 steps. Step 1 is we are going to rework on your resume. Step 2 is we are going to prepare you for the interview with a list of mock question and answers. And the final step is we have our own job portal. So apart from you marketing your resume on LinkedIn or Times or other job portals in the market, you also get an opportunity to market your resume on Intellipaat job portal, where we have tied up with 500 plus hiring partners. So your possibilities of lining up interviews literally increases. So this is the benefit of job assistance. Now the whole program, you can find the price here. So the self-paced is 13,053 rupees plus GST, and the online is 22,743 rupees plus GST. So website offers 10% discount. So whether you're in US or India, doesn't matter, you end up paying the same amount. So instead of 10%, reach out to me on either of my WhatsApp numbers. So I've been an advisor and career counselor for 13 years. So I'll be the best person to talk to and discuss about your career and also help you save your money. So you can WhatsApp me for 30% discount. And this is purely on a first come, first serve basis. I just have 2 coupons with me. So whoever reaches out to me first on my WhatsApp or drops me an email will get this coupon. So I want to show you a couple of the programs. So in the interim, if you have any questions with regards to the program, please feel free to drop your queries here. I'll be more than happy to answer. Now, I want to talk one thing generic about cloud itself. Well, the reason why we are providing Linux course for free. Well, 95% of the cloud servers run on Linux, whether it's been AWS or Azure or Google Cloud or Alibaba or IBM. 90% of the cloud servers run on Linux. So having a basic understanding of Linux is definitely an added advantage. So that is the reason we provide you the Linux self-paced for free. Now, the other program I want to discuss with you is Cloud Architect Master Program. Now, this is in collaboration with IBM and Microsoft. So what is this? Multi-cloud is pretty hot in the market. So this has AWS. Along with it, this has Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud. So you can look at any job description, whichever region you're based out of, for a cloud architect or DevOps architect positions, or a cloud engineer or DevOps engineer positions. Every company wants a cloud and a programming language basic, and DevOps, it's mandatory. Whoever wants to get into cloud, DevOps is mandatory, or whoever gets into DevOps, cloud is mandatory. They both are like husband and wife. So this is a proper comprehensive program which offers a multi-cloud along with programming language and DevOps. And this has multiple self-paced like Java, Linux, Splunk, Azure Architecture, and Agile. So this is in collaboration with IBM and Microsoft. The benefits are the same, guys. Lifetime access, no expiration. So once you complete the course, these are just to name a few titles, you'll be eligible or entitled to work once you complete the program. The only difference is more number of courses, better for you, better package, better company you'll end up working for. And the pricing is more. The more hands-on projects, here you see beginner, intermediate, and advanced, because this has more courses in it. And you get course completion certificate from IBM, one course completion certificate from Microsoft partner. The course itself is aligned or designed to clear all these examinations. Let's say you want to take GCP exam. Once you complete Google Cloud training from us, you'll be qualified to clear the official exam. Take our quiz, score 60%, just to make sure that you're prepared even before you invest your money. So all of these exams will prepare you for the certification exams. And the cost, we have clearly mentioned about job assistance as well, the profile building that I've explained to you. And the cost is 40,014 rupees for self-paced and 56,943 plus GST for online. So this particular program, I just have one coupon. You get a flat 50% discount, which is purely on a first come, first serve basis. You can reach out to me on my WhatsApp to avail the coupon. I'll be more than happy to discuss. So let's take the next program, AWS Master Program. So let's say your company is moving into AWS environment and you're not quite sure which program to go for, or you're from a developer background and you're majorly interested in AWS to be specific. So you can opt for AWS Master Program. So this is a combination of 9+ courses. This is all the best AWS has to offer. This has AWS Solutions Architect, SysOps, AWS Developer, AWS Cloud Migration, DevOps, and AWS DevOps. So self-paced will be Linux, SQL, and AZ900, which is the fundamentals. So the only difference is this has everything that AWS has to offer, more the courses, more duration, more hands-on. Time duration is also more, so as the pricing. So even this particular program, you get IBM course completion certificate and Intellipaat course completion certificate. Rest all the benefits are the same. Lifetime access, self-paced given to you for free if you go for online, job assistance, live recorded videos of your own classroom, certification preparation, everything is literally the same. The lab access, everything. So again, this I have 50% discount coupon, which is purely on a first come, first serve basis. So if you ask me which program is suitable for you, I don't know. So for that, I need to know you personally. I need to know which region you're based out of. What is your experience? Are you from IT or non-IT? And what's your current package? And what is your objective? What are you aiming towards? So based on that, I'll be able to guide you to the right program. So before we discuss the schedule, I have one last program to discuss with you, or rather show you guys. So I believe I'm audible. Okay, so let's go with the last program. So advanced certification in cloud computing and DevOps. So I believe most of you are aware about IIT. So, but people who are in the US or Europe and Canada, if you don't know what IIT is, IIT stands for Indian Institute of Technology. To give you an example, global CEO for Google, Sundar Pichai, he himself graduated from IIT. So this program is in collaboration with EICT IIT Roorkee. So this is a 7 months comprehensive program conducted only during the weekends. This does not have any lifetime access. So this is a dedicated program. So what do I mean by that? So this comes with 100% job interview guaranteed. So 7 months is for the program. 8th month, we dedicate our time to uh, prepare you for the interview, and career mentoring sessions happening and rebuilding on your profile, LinkedIn profile, and your resume. 9th month, we schedule the interview for you. Minimum 3, maximum 5 interviews will be scheduled on the 9th month, whichever region you're based out of. So 40% of the course content is covered by IIT professors themselves. Let me show those profiles. So these are your IIT professors. So 40% of the content is covered by IIT professors. The remaining 60% of the course content is covered by industry experts who are already working as cloud and DevOps engineers. So this is a course completion certificate issued by IIT Roorkee of completion. And here you would see what roles you would be qualified to play once you complete the program. Here you see the list of skills. So realistically, guys, these are the skill set the company is looking for. So your focus is much more in detail. It's 7 months continuous program, only during the weekends, 3 hours Saturdays, 3 hours on Sundays. These are the list of 16 modules that's going to be covered in the span of 7 months. And these are the projects from beginner moving into intermediate and finally advanced. And we have mentioned on writing on website 3 guaranteed interviews. So interview preparation and profile building, this is what happens in the 8th month. 9th month, we deliver this. And here is the cost. So this is excluding GST, and we have a batch starting this weekend. So there is no huge discount for this because of COVID subsidy from the Indian government, the cost itself is literally cheap. So we have the same program from IIT Guwahati. There's no difference, and even this particular program is going to become the same cost of IIT Guwahati. Let me show that to you. So the only difference is this is IIT Guwahati and that is IIT Roorkee. So 1,75,000 plus GST, but this is 75,000 plus GST. So next month onwards, there won't be any government subsidy. The cost is literally going to be 1,75,000 plus GST. So we have only a couple of seats available. So if you want to get into this program, or if you want a suggestion which is the right program, here is my details. So directly WhatsApp me on my WhatsApp number, either Indian WhatsApp or US WhatsApp number, or drop me an email. Let's discuss about your career. Let me help you in the right program, which is the right direction that you should be heading towards. So I have a question. Are you saying AWS but mentioned AZ900? No. Let me show that program. So this is AWS Master Program, correct? So this has AZ900 and self-paced. So Azure Fundamentals as a complementary. So self-paced is given to you for free if you go for online. So if you see online, everything is focused only towards AWS. But this is a multi-cloud program where it's focused towards multi-cloud. AWS Cloud, Azure, Google Cloud, DevOps, and Python. So any other questions, guys? Well, let's discuss about the schedule. So these two programs are both weekday and weekend. So the website has the clear schedule, guys. If you're in India, you can follow this schedule. The Intellipaat program in collaboration with IBM, we have both weekday and weekend classes. But IIT program is only during the weekends. So here you go. These are the schedule, guys. So if you are in India, you can blindly follow the website schedule and timings. So if you're in the US or Canada, the weekday batch will be Monday to Thursday. The schedule will be 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is scheduled for the weekday. Weekend will be Saturday and Sunday, 10:30 in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. 3 hours Saturdays, 3 hours on Sundays. So this is going to be a weekend schedule. So you have my details. So I'll be more than happy to discuss about your career. So if you want some guidance, I'm right here to help you out. So please WhatsApp me. I will call you and help you in the right direction, and also help you save a lot of money. So that's it for today's presentation. I hope it was useful and helpful. And I really appreciate your time. And I thank each and everyone for attending the presentation and webinar today. Thank you. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.